Hey guys, it's Edwin here, and I hope you are having a wonderful morning. Today, I'm going to talk about how a narcissist tests your boundaries. Like, what does it really mean, and what are some of the tactics they use to get to you. When you talk about boundaries, I've talked about this thing for a couple of times now. Boundary is more of the things you cannot tolerate from others, and the things you can tolerate from others, or your values, your beliefs, or just those things that define who you are. So mostly, toxic relationships actually begin when someone starts testing those boundaries. Someone starts crossing that line, crossing your limits. And if you've been involved with a manipulative person before, is you'll feel that they always try to push you so much. They always try to push you to lower those boundaries. And the moment you lower them, of course, it's making you susceptible to abuse. So why do they really make you lower those boundaries? They make you lower those boundaries because the moment you lower those boundaries, you'll be serving their needs. The moment you lower those boundaries, you'll be susceptible to manipulation. So that's their job. Like, a toxic relationship begins when you lower those boundaries. But when you keep your boundaries, you'll never be used by anybody. So I'm going to be sharing with you some of the common ways, tactics they use to push your boundaries or to poke those boundaries. The first one is making excuses. They love making excuses about something they've done or something they've not done, just to see how far you can go, just to see how far you can go with accepting their excuses. Let's say you find them flirting with their ex-partners, and then you question them, and then they make an excuse like, oh, we're just having a business deal together. The moment you accept that excuse, it will mean that the next time you find them doing something which is inappropriate, they'll still use the same excuse. So they just find excuses which can help them make you lower your boundaries. Let's say your boundary was I will not tolerate someone who talks to their exes. But now when a narcissist does it, and then they give you that excuse, and then you feel that you just have to let that pass or just let it go, then they'll use it again. The other thing is change of plans. So you may have made plans together, like you will be doing this next week, or let's meet at this time. But when it reaches that time, they just disappear. So because time is one of your boundaries, let's say your boundary was, I don't want people who who keep me, who waste my time. But the moment they change those plans, and then they realize that you accept or you let it slide, that's how they know that they can use change of plans to really manipulate you or to really test your boundaries. The other thing is ignoring your needs. So this is where because boundary is all about also asserting your needs to your partner. So this is where you may tell them to do this for you, help me with this, help me with cleaning the house, help me with doing this. But they may drag their feet and really just do it. They may not even do it. Sometimes they may do it shallowly, just to really see how you will react if they don't listen to you. So the moment they stop doing it and then you let it slide, that's you violating your boundaries of asserting your needs to your partner. The other one is avoiding responsibility. Let's say you want them to do something, or you want them to change something about themselves because you cannot tolerate it. Let's say you want them to change their texting habit, or their something on their finances, but then they just blame something. They just blame something I can do this because of this, because of that. The moment you let that slide, it means that the next time you want to hold them accountable for some actions, they will still deflect it. And that's how they violated your boundaries. The other thing is disrespecting your values. They may disrespect your religious beliefs through harsh jokes, sarcasm, just to really see how far you can go. Can you assert your voice and say hey, don't talk harshly about my family, or don't talk harshly about my past, or don't talk harshly about my religious views? If you don't assert or raise that voice and say no, don't talk about that, they'll know that actually I can push the boundaries for this person, because I know they don't have the ability to say no. So that's how they really push your boundaries. It's all about trying something, and once they find something which works, like using an excuse, it's all now about rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Like they keep doing it over and over again, over and over again, because they now know that if I do this to this person, they will let me back into their lives. They'll supply my needs. I will control them. I'll be more superior to them, and that's how they've tested your boundaries. So always know that the moment you lower your boundary the first time, or the moment you let them in through like a small gap in your boundaries for the first time, this next time they'll still use the same place. So if you want to have healthy relationships in life with anyone, it can be your mother, your parents, your friends, or just your partner, always keep, set, and uphold those boundaries. And now if you get to the point where you just can't keep those boundaries, or you feel that your boundaries are scanty, that's when now you get to work on yourself. You get to work on what you believe about yourself that's causing you not to keep those boundaries. That's what healing is all about. It's all about getting to the point where you are deeply secure, to the point that you can keep your boundaries even when it upsets other people, or even when it makes other people like feel like you are treating them harshly. Hope you found that informative, guys. Until next time, feel free to share, comment, and subscribe.